Okay, today welcome back to another Gunpla TV review, and today we have the VF-31D Skuld. Now let me just go into a little bit of background story of this Variable Fighter Girl's Macross series. So Maross Delta is a TV anime series produced by Studio Noon in the long-running multimedia science fiction franchise Macross. Maross Delta is the fourth TV anime series in the Macross franchise, and it was a huge success in Japan, spawning a game and anime film adaptation. The story of Maross Delta centers around a group of idols called Valkyrie, who use the power of song to cure a disease known as VA syndrome. Well, anyway, here we have a new one, and they've come out with one of these Macross kits before, Aoshima that is. And you can see her right here, but this is the one we're going to be looking at today. As I said, the Skuld, and I think it's a really cool kit. We looked at it a few weeks ago on the show, but I've just come around to actually being able to build it. It's quite a big mission, to be honest. Anyway, the VF-31D Skuld from Maross Delta joins the Variable Fighter Girl kit lineup from Aoshima. It's rather a big kit, being fully transformable between Gerwalk, Fighter and Battroid forms, which requires some parts replacement, as you will see when I put this through its various transformations. As you can see from the box, it's nice and chunky. Well, this is quite a big, thick box, you can see it there. And this will set you back around 6,000 yen on HobbyLink.com. Given that it can transform into 3 different forms, as you can see here, it's actually impressive that they kept the number of runners down to a minimum. Also, don't be too overwhelmed by the parts, because some are duplicates of the color scheme, like the wings are actually separate runners. So they're duplicate runners, but some are orange and some of this beige color. You put them together and it creates that half and half color scheme. I've gone with the recommended combination, so I used half of the beige and half of the orange, leaving in essence the whole set left over. But I doubt you can make anything of it because it needs other parts to join them together. Also, it comes with various faces, water transfer decals, and plenty of stickers. Okay, so speaking of stickers, you can see that there are quite a few. This is for the fighter, and this is for the girl. And I've used as many as are needed at this point, but I haven't transformed her yet, so I'm guessing that some of these are going to be used later. But there's quite a few, and I got to say they're really easy to put on. I thought they were going to be rather hard to get across the contour lines, but no, it was quite easy, and actually they wrapped around the plastic quite well. There were some parts where it creased and you can see it, but in those parts, dare I say, if you're a really good modeler, or painter rather, you could definitely do a better job with, you know, putting on a coating layer and then painting over that, and that would give you probably a better finish. Also, water transfer decals. Now, I've used the ones that they tell you to use, but there are plenty more. Like, you can create faces, you can number your fighter, your girl, you can put some stuff on the the wingtips, plenty of stuff. I think I customized a bit with this one and used one of these ones, as you'll see a bit later. But yeah, they go all out. You can really do whatever you want with this. You can plaster it all over, make it look like some tattooed plane or something. Just a quick rundown of the runners. Here they all are. So as you can see, these are the duplicates, and you only use half, or a few of some and many of the others. Some bits you just don't use at all. Must have been from the old set, the old Macross Girl. But yeah, quite a comprehensible amount of runners. And here where the stickers go on. So you can see there are plenty of stickers for the girl, and you can see there are plenty of stickers and even water decals for the fighter. These are the water decals, the ones without just the number. It says water transfer decal there. So a fair amount of stickers, only a few decals, water transfer decals if you want to use them, but I put a few on. And just in general, quite a nicely detailed instruction booklet. As you can see, so I've made it up to this point here. This is what I've made, the fighter, and then we'll move on to the Gerwalk mode. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. And finally, the Battroid mode. Okay, so anyway, I think it's time to take a look at the first stage, the girl herself and the fighter. Ja-jang! So here we are. Let's bring them a bit closer. Now, This kit comes with no stands, so as you can see I've stolen 2 Figma stands from elsewhere which fit nicely into the back and the bottom of the plane and the back of the girl. Just a quick note, these are the faces. We'll do accessories first since the main bulk of this kit is in these 2 themselves. But there you go, there's some faces, type of a sad face, normal face, and I've got her angry face on in the background there. They're all going to be covered by this hair. That's just the character itself. It's quite nice. And plenty of hands. Anyway, right, let's get to it. So this is a simple snap kit, and you don't technically need to paint because there are a lot of stickers. Just having a quick look, sticker, water transfer decal, sticker, you can type of see that one, it's not such a good one. These are stickers here, stickers on the wingtips, stickers underneath, water transfer decal right there, Variable Fighter Girl. And even more underneath, you can see the glimmer, that's where the stickers are. And on the girl, we have stickers on her belly, on her top, on her arms. These are also stickers, so you've got quite a few. These back bits too, but dare I say, they go on very well. Her ears also have them. And I think it looks quite snazzy. I don't think it ruins it. But of course, it probably would look a lot better if you did it with paint, but that would take her a lot longer. This took quite a while just to put them on. So as I said, it technically doesn't need paint, but I really think you need to add panel lines to the plane, which I have done, just on the top, just because time, but anyway. It's a bare minimum. I feel like you should do that. It doesn't stand out. It doesn't look that great without it. It looks very plain. So I added a few and it makes it look much better. I guess you can tell that these black lines are all added on. All I did is I used a Gundam marker, one of the ones that you can rub off. So just coat it all on and then rub it off with your hand and it leaves the stuff in the cracks. Honestly, it looks so much better than it did. Just for a comparison, I guess the underside is still, yeah, there you go. Can you see? So the underside has nothing and just about pick it out there, but that's not as impressive as having some detailing on top, which I added. She seems to have lost her tail, but obviously she is a cat, so cat girl, and goes round underneath her to come out her backside. So first, let's just look at the girl, then we'll move on to the fighter, and then we'll do some transformations. So I'm really impressed by the articulation. Firstly, let's look at the head. It goes a lot around. It's very impressive. Back forward. Obviously, you can do anything. Now, it's quite stiff. It's nice. It holds its poses. The arms are great. Joint here. They never come out. It just doesn't fall out. It's not like Aoshima seems to have got this down really well. Unlike some of the Bandai kits I've done, or mainly Kotobukiya, they pop out all the time. But these are very solid. They'll hold the pose. It's really great. Just to show you, I'll pull it out here, but it's just, here it's just that little peg. Obviously you can see the joint there, and it's the same little peg type of thing here. So moving down, she's got 3 parts here to her torso, and they all work really nicely and smoothly to create a good range of motion. Very impressed by this, and it's also quite easy if you wanted to, add paint and do stuff like that. Obviously, moving her around a lot, you're gonna risk maybe clipping some of these stickers and them coming off, so just be careful of that. And moving down, this is where her cattail would pop into, just there. This is for the stand, or you can put the cattail in there, whichever you prefer. Legs also nice and stiff, they go quite high. Feet, nice. Good range of motion there. Really impressed by this. She stands by herself. Just look at that. It's great. And these bits here swivel around, but you want to keep them in the front pose, which is natural. So, I mean, really, really top job, Aoshima. This is great. And she looks cool as well. So that's that. Let's move on to the fighter. Okay, so the fighter actually comes in quite a few different parts. I'm not going to pull it apart because it took quite a bit to put it together, to sandwich it all correctly. But this nose bit is one separate piece. You've got these 2 legs as separate pieces that go in, and they type of move in like that. The wings clip in with the other bit, so there's a central bit here, the nose. and then the legs come in, and then you have to add one final piece, which is this bit underneath, to make it all solid. But as you can see, it will still move around, but as you can see, you're going to still see some gaps. I mean, when you sandwich them down, it doesn't look so bad, but this transforms, that's what you got to remember, so things are going to move around. But it looked really cool in that pose on the stand, so I'm really not too fussed about that. I think it's still very impressive. Obviously this is for when it's in walking mode, but they come in and shut in very nicely together. Make sure you put the right one on. Had a bit of trouble there because I was an idiot. But yeah, that's that. So you can see where I've put stickers on here, put some water decals there. Not much in, like, this is just a static pose. You're not really meant to pull these up or anything like that to look in. There are some hidden gems inside here where you can, when it's walking, but that's for later. So it's pretty much just a static kit right at this point. Okay, so here we are with the Gerwalk mode, however you want to say it. And it wasn't too hard, but basically all we had to do is take the nose off. I'll just show you here. You take the nose off and the legs off, and you swap some parts out. So these are the parts that you're taking out. So it's more of the bits that join to the end of the leg and some of the side pieces. Because what you've got to do is, as you can see here, you've got to change this bit underneath to make it a right angle, so it looks like legs instead of going out the back. So that's the changes there. And also you've got to build the arms. So it's basically building a whole new set of arms, because obviously the plane doesn't have arms, and changing just some of the finer points of the legs to make sure that they've got this type of like 90-degree angle. And a nice little tip is that these little parts inside were already there, so she has to put her feet on something, right? Well, they're already in the actual leg itself, and all you have to do is flip it up. So that was quite a nice little detail. As you can see there, she's got little paw marks that she can put her feet on, keeping up with that cat theme. But let's have a look. So, as I said before, the girl herself is really poseable. I love that. And she goes in on the top here, but let's first just have a look at the type of Gerwalk fighter itself. So what you have is, you can put these bits up top. Normally it's just these little, like, diamondy things. I don't know what you'd call them. Normally it's these covers that go here, but then you add on to the type of bike levers, which is really cool, the handles. Underneath here you can see where we've changed some parts down here, but the leg is generally the same thing, and all I've done is move this bit out so she can stand on the back of the legs, which is really cool. He has she, whatever you want to call it. The fighter has its own arms, and you can see here there are guns inside them, which is really cool. But apart from that, there's not too much difference in the main fighter body. We've just moved the legs down, and these obviously flip out, and they were already like that. So just one thing, this thing does not stand up by itself. It will become nose heavy, and I guess the real way it should be posed is something like this. But I found a Figma stand as before lying around, so I'm going to use that to show this off to its full potential. Okay, so there we have it on the stand. So now you may ask, how does this fit in? Well, firstly, we will need to change the hands off if you want her to be holding that. So let's swap this left fist off. Okay, so there we go. It took me a bit of a while, just getting those legs in the right place. But to be honest, it's not too bad. I've just had a bit of trouble with the Figma stand because it's obviously not meant to balance this type of weight. But as you can see, her feet go like really nicely onto the bottom. It's once you get it into place, and you're probably using a better stand than this, it's very sturdy. You're not going to have any trouble posing her once you find the pose you want. So basically she can go into any type of pose on top of here. You can have her with her hands up, just her legs go through there. As long as they're going through the back part of the fighter, you can do anything you want with the top half, change faces and all that type of stuff. Another really impressive mode for this. I love how sturdy it is. I also love that they have extra space on the back that you can put another girl on the back of it, so you can have two of them on the same fighter in Gerwalk mode. And it's really quite nifty. Obviously, you can also change this, so you can have him doing, well, you can have the fighter doing whatever it wants to do whilst she's on the back. But apart from that, that's all there is to it. It's very, very cool. I think all we have left now is to transform it into the final Battroid mode, which is her in a suit. So let me cut back to that once I have built it. And here we have Battroid mode. Very simple. So the arms were taken off, and the edge, the top parts of the legs were taken off because they were the ones that hooked into the ship. The ship was broken up into 3 pieces again. The nose is on her back. Obviously the wings are on her back there as well. And the back parts, the jets, become her legs. So you may ask, where did her legs go? Well, they actually fold quite easily, or you can put them easily into the leg part, and 2 clips come on in there to hook it in. Actually, I think what you could do, it says you can put the foot just to the left and angle it down, which is what I did do, but I think it would be easier if you just took the foot off. I mean, you can't see it at all, so I don't see any problem in doing that. At the moment, we've got her hooked on a Gunpla base, but it's not a proper peg hole. She's literally just hanging there. So the other parts that you had to add were just this harness, and the harness just hooks this whole part on there, and this bit here, which is just you know, have the gap bridged between her back and the wing section and the nose cone. As you can see here, it just comes out the back there. So all parts are still included, and it's still as maneuverable as ever, which is insane because this thing's been transformed so many times. But I dare say that she can stand up. There you go, that took me no time at all. There's just a nice full body pose of her. But you still have the arms, they hook on the side bits. The wings are still there, the fins. And this is what I was referring to before when I said there were some hidden gems inside the legs. You can see the thrusters there. So now I guess she can type of blast off with these parts exposed, which is a nice extra feature. I do like the back harness bit, a lot of detail there. I dare say you could touch this top part up, maybe some different coloured panel lines like white or something like that. And just something I noticed whilst I was actually putting it together, I caught it at the last final stage, is that I forgot to put the side bits on. So I guess these are maybe some either shields or maybe a gun, weapon type of thing. But yep, so I've just whacked them on. They are stickers for these white and orange parts, and obviously the shiny red parts at the end here. All I can say is that it's still very sturdy, but obviously not as sturdy as the other 2 forms, because you've got these parts here, they can fall off a few times, and maybe some of the legs get quite heavy now, so you've got more tendency to maybe fall off at this point. And these bits are literally just type of clipped on. They're not too fastened very well, but that's the only thing I have bad to say about that. Yeah, I mean, you can pose her without any help, which is very impressive, despite her having these massive wings on the end. On the other side, I guess you can put her like that and she can fly, stuff like that. But yeah, it's a very impressive kit. I hope you all have a go at building one, because you know, you get a lot of bang for your buck with 3 different forms in one kit, and that's pretty great in my opinion. And even if you're not an expert painter, you can still make it look like I have done here without any too much trouble at all. So there you go. One other thing I just want to add is that I said before that it always comes with the hair down the side like that, but actually you can have a version with just the with the bangs, you know, to the left and right. So that about does it. Honestly, this is great. I would recommend it to anyone, especially if you haven't built an Aoshima kit like me.